I just want to have a conversation about some stuff that's been going on online.
That's Benjamin Naylor being confronted outside of his office about a claim that he was talking to a teenage boy online about sex, but he wasn't talking to a boy, and now he's in jail after he's caught in a sting and he admits to possessing images of children involved in sex acts.
How many times have you seen that video?
I've seen it quite a few times.
I take you through the sting, the arrest, and I talk to the man who set it all up through Predator Poachers. I'm Angenette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. Have you ever wondered how we are able to share so many clips from breaking news cases as they are unfolding? Well, here's a little secret. Opus Clip is an all-in-one AI editor that makes it a breeze to cut, create, and upload videos across any platform. Through AI, Opus Clip generates B-roll, it reframes footage, and it even cleans up audio. Just visit opus.pro/crimefix, sign up and upload, and in minutes, you will have perfectly edited clips ready to go. For TikTok, Shorts, or Reels, it's a one-stop shop. Having Opus Clip means our producers can post viral updates instantly. This is the most powerful tool for sharing ideas and editing like a pro. So go to opus.pro/crimefix to create your videos today. Benjamin Naylor is a 31-year-old man from Ohio who's in a lot of legal trouble right now. Naylor is in custody at the Hamilton County Justice Center in Cincinnati. He's facing 3 counts of pandering sexually oriented matter involving a minor and 1 count of illegal use of a minor in nudity-oriented material or performance. Naylor was first taken into custody back on December 3rd, but it wasn't until days later that he was booked into the jail on those charges.
How much child porn is sitting on your phone right now?
Just those couple videos, because like I said,
Okay.
everything else got lost.
Okay, so you're going to delete the child porn off your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Well, hold on a second. Are you Pablo?
I'm with him.
Okay.
But
You're the caller?
yeah. But basically, is there child porn on your phone to get rid of?
Yes.
Okay, and you've shared videos of babies being raped?
Yes.
Okay. And where's your phone now?
Let's put down.
Okay, and have we touched your phone at all or gone through it?
So that was the beginning of the arrest, but let's go back to the very, very beginning. This entire arrest was set up by a group called Predator Poachers. Alex Rosen runs Predator Poachers out of Texas, but there are other groups in states like Illinois across the country. Alex is going to join me here shortly to talk about this sting and how he and a friend carried it out. On December 3rd, Rosen and his friend from Illinois traveled to Cincinnati, and they figured out a way to find out where Benjamin Naylor worked.
Basically, he's on Reddit. He talks about no limit trading on sessions, which I'm sure you know what no limits means at this point. No, you can take the lead. I'll just interject.
Sessions is an end-to-end encrypted messaging app. The ruse that Alex and his friend came up with involved Alex posing as a secret Santa at Benjamin Naylor's workplace, the Christ Hospital. Here's his hidden camera.
Yes, and I am Santa. Apparently, I'm the secret Santa.
Oh,
Is there a way Benjamin could come to the front and see a secret Santa package for him?
Benjamin.
Naylor?
I'm new here, so bear with me.
Oh.
Is that an employee or a resident?
Employee.
I love the hat. Are you one of those people that wear shorts all the time?
Well, yeah, I'm the Santa that does not wear the uniform for it.
Gotcha.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
The gentleman right out here. That
Yeah, it's a secret. You want to come out this way? Yeah. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, you are. Holy cow. You are.
Yeah.
I don't look up at too many people. Secret Santa thing. It's about some messages from Reddit to this boy that was talking to you and some sessions. Can I go outside and talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh, appreciate it. Awesome. Thanks.
So Benjamin Naylor and his now not so secret fake Santa go out to the parking lot and they have a little chat, and Benjamin Naylor's reaction is a little surprising.
So I just want to, obviously he's volunteered to talk to me and all that stuff, but I just want to have a conversation about some stuff that's been going on online. You know, I know you're a good dude and everything, and
Yeah.
as someone with a grandma in nursing home right now, I really appreciate what you do. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're good.
What got you into this?
I know who you are.
Okay.
I've seen your content.
Okay. Well, since I genuinely do have a grandma in a nursing home, so.
No, I work here.
Okay. Well, I understand.
That being said, you know, the videos that he has, not all of them get published. Okay.
That's true. You're only 31, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not here to crap on someone doing a good thing. A lot of the people I talk to are, you know, they're not contributors in any way, and I just think, look, so we can just cut the formalities in and everything. Okay, I'm here to talk about session and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
The conversation continues between Alex Rosen and Benjamin Naylor, where Alex asks about his online activity.
So here, this is just so we're here with that Ben guy at his job right now. You know, unfortunately, he's been trading porn of babies online, but that's okay. So what app do you find the people on to trade with usually?
So typically, I through the session wrap, and then they find me on session.
They find you on session?
Yeah.
Okay. What app do y'all find each other on session, or do you start on another app?
So it's all through session.
All through session?
Yeah.
Okay. What app do the little boys find you on?
Like it's like I said, it's all the Reddit crap, and
all the Reddit crap.
They just message me on session.
Oh, okay. So basically, all the child porn of the boys, they find you on Reddit, then they go to session.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
I see. Fair enough.
The conversation continues, and Naylor starts to discuss sex abuse material and how he has viewed it.
Cool. So what's this whole thing I see going around?
Basically, it's this guy that molested his baby brother.
Okay. How old's his brother?
He was like baby age, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen that video?
I've seen it quite a few times.
Oh Jesus!
Like I said, it was just a bunch of bull crap.
Where do they trade it on?
It was on session.
Okay.
It's all the session crap.
How often do they talk about it on Reddit?
Why do you have your phone up?
It was just to relate to the decoys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please, no recording, please.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can see it right there. Benjamin Naylor is admitting to doing some really, really awful things, watching a person molest a baby, and he's admitting to it as a camera is recording. The Predator Poachers contacted Cincinnati police, and they arrived and took Naylor into custody.
He's been trading child pornography.
You're not free to go. We're probably going to need two of these.
Okay.
Of babies.
Ben, before we go any further,
This is
read you your rights, just so you understand.
Benjamin Naylor of Cincinnati, Ohio. Attracted to ages 0 through 10, trading child porn of babies, talking to multiple kids online, grooming them. He's off of Reddit, as a lot of these people are, but we're attacking the shit out of Reddit. You Reddit. Our content still talked.
Court documents claim that Naylor had horrific videos on his phone, one of a baby being sexually assaulted and screaming, another of a boy being sexually assaulted and begging for it to stop. An affidavit states that Naylor knowingly possessed 2 images of child sex abuse material and also possessed and distributed 2 videos of child sex abuse material, all on his personal cellular phone. Okay, so to talk about how Ben Naylor ended up in jail, I want to bring in Alex Rosen. He is the head of Predator Poachers, and he's the guy that you saw in that video talking to Ben Naylor. So, Alex, thank you so much for joining me. First of all, talk to me a little bit about how you were able to engage in a conversation, at least using what you called one of your decoys online, with this Ben Naylor.
Yeah, so Ben reached out to one of our decoys. We were trolling Reddit, and he found us off of there. And he said to our decoy, our 13-year-old boy decoy, that quote-unquote age is just a number, and said some perverted things, but nothing really crossing into the line of criminality. However, based on Naylor's posts online, we were able to, just doing this for 6 years, we were able to definitely highly assume that he was into child pornography, just based on the lingo he was using, just based on what he was advertising, what he described himself as. So despite the chats really not being the worst that we've seen, His other online stuff definitely made us want to go get him and see what he was going to be into. Like, for example, it was that bad with what he was advertising that even if he did not chat to our underage decoy, I still would have approached him and confronted him about what we had on him.
That's very interesting. So you have somebody posing, you said, as a 13-year-old boy on Reddit, and you said you're trolling. So you're almost like you're casting a line. You got like your little worm on the line, which is your decoy, just hanging out on Reddit. And you're saying Ben Naylor kind of grabbed the lure and started chatting and said enough that you were like, okay, we think this guy is into some bad stuff, and things unfolded from there.
Right. So he blocked at some point, but his online posts were still very active with what he was doing. And based on that, we absolutely assumed that he had child pornography of the youngest ages possible, and we ended up being right about that.
Did Ben Naylor ever transmit anything to your decoy?
No, he did not, luckily. He kept the chat PG-13, I'd say. Like, he was very perverted, but did not solicit a sex act per se. And I think that could just come out of nervousness because obviously we're not talking to a real kid, so we can't do everything that a real kid is capable of doing. Like, at some point there's a hole in the story. And, so he was very public about who he is online. Or I guess he's not too public, but we were able to find out who he was pretty quickly. And we were able to find out where he works. And, we know that he's working in a hospital system, which there's always children around. And I think somebody who is getting off to the abuse of babies should not be in a hospital system or in society in general or alive, but whatever.
So how do you decide when you're going to move in? And because I remember years ago covering a similar case where the police were kind of like, we're not going to be able to prosecute this because, there were certain things in the law that had to be followed. Like it had to be a law enforcement officer posing as a person. It couldn't be a citizen posing as a person underage, things of that nature. They had to follow all of these guidelines in order for the charge to stick. So how did you decide to move in, and how were they able to make this arrest and it was able to stick?
Well, so in 42 states, the law states that as long as they believe it to be a minor, then the chats can be prosecuted. So where I'm from in Texas, there is no stipulation that it has to be a law enforcement officer, and that's the case in most states. However, in Ohio, that is a stipulation. So even if Benjamin Naylor straight up met for sex, sent a ton of penis pictures to us or whatever, at face value, the law couldn't prosecute him. However, in a lot of states, there's a criminal attempt to commit a felony statute. So they still could prosecute these in Ohio if the prosecutors were smart or had nuts to actually do their job. For example, we had a guy in Defiance, Ohio that we caught later that night, and they actually charged him with criminal attempt at importuning. So importuning is basically talking to who you think is a kid or talking to a law enforcement officer posing as a kid or soliciting a real kid online. But it has to be a cop in the importuning law. However, the criminal attempt at that is a felony 4 instead of a felony 3 importuning is. So the criminal attempt knocks it down a felony, but they can still charge it if the person attempts to do that crime because they think the circumstances of the crime are the same. They think they're talking to a kid. They're attempting to do it, so they can charge him with a criminal attempt. However, in Naylor's case, I wouldn't even say he committed importuning. He just kind of is being weird to a kid online or to what he thought was a kid. However, in places like Ohio, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, where the law is kind of wishy-washy on us doing it with chat logs, getting them on child pornography, the child pornography statute is pretty much the same in all 50 states. So if somebody has child porn on their phone, and that's what we really focus on, and we report them for that child pornography, we get that child pornography admission, then it basically forces the cops to act because technically, the child porn has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with our decoy chats. They either have it or they don't. And we just happen to be the reporting party in that case. So we really focused on getting Ben to confess the child porn. Like, for those who have seen the video, I only ask about, like, the decoy count towards the end of the interview. Like, I don't really care about it too much because I'm trying to get him on the obvious charge of child pornography, and that's what we were there for. And that's why I was able to stick.
So you show up at his place of employment, now his former place of employment, the
Right.
Christ Hospital. And tell me how this kind of unfolds. I mean, do you just kind of hang out in the parking lot And I mean, do you let the cops know that you're coming and that you're going to do this? Or do you just hang out in the parking lot and you're like, no, he's like coming to work or coming back from lunch or whatever, and then you just kind of move in with your camera and you're waiting?
Well, so in this case, the Christ Hospital has a lot of buildings around Cincinnati, so finding which one he would work at would take all day if I went to every single one like manually. So I called like the number for Christ Hospital instead, and I posed as a Secret Santa, basically just saying, "Hi, is there a Benjamin Naylor there? I'm like a Secret Santa." And for whatever reason, just a flamboyant male on the phone just lowers the guard of every single female possible. So she just immediately tells me where he's working. Like she gives me like his building, like the address of it, all of that stuff. And I'm just like, okay, that was very easy. So we save probably hours and just go to the right building. And, I go up to the front desk and I'm like, "Hi, I got a Secret Santa for Benjamin." And I'm wearing like a cute little snowman hat with like a little top hat on top. Like I'm just totally dressed for the part. And, 2 minutes later, Benjamin comes waltzing out and, I just dropped the act. I'm like, "Hey man, let's go talk outside about some of this stuff." And he instantly knew what it was about. And then he mentions that he's seen our channel online and he still confessed to everything anyway. And as for calling the cops beforehand, it really just depends on the jurisdiction. Like if we have a good relationship with them, we just sometimes do that or sometimes don't, depending on how they want us to handle it. But in this case, we did not. And he gave a very, very detailed confessions about his illegal activities online. It was ready for the cops on a silver platter.
Wow. So he actually said to you, "Yeah, I've watched your channel."
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we know now that he's in the jail and he's facing some criminal charges. We'll wait to see what comes of that. I'm assuming the cops got a search warrant for his phone and will be dumping it and seeing what's on there. Maybe even going to his house and getting a search warrant for his computer. I don't know that, but that's where, that's what the next logical step would be. Have you had any communication with the police about this guy?
Yeah, so later that day, they contacted me, just getting some more info about it. But, I mean, it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, they took his phone on scene, and I believe they already did dump it because he was not charged that same day. They charged him, I think, just last night, so it's been, like, almost a week. And so I think they did dump it, and they found the appropriate counts to slap him with. And, like, he was a little bit more careful, I think. I mean, not with what he said to us, but he was a little more careful than I think a lot of them because he kind of, I don't think he was like a hoarder of child porn. Like he kind of did what we like to call a beat and delete, where he kind of just like views it, gets rid of it. He doesn't have too much in circulation at one time. But either way, it's it's all traceable, and the cops found what was on his phone, and it's definitely enough to put him in jail for a very long time.
Wow. Whoa, this is just kind of blowing my mind completely. So how long have you been doing this, Alex?
I've been doing this for 6.5 years now. I've been doing this since I was 19 years old. I'm 25 now. And yeah, over the past 6 years, we have arrests in all 50 states, convictions in 43, and over 260 convictions total.
What kind of motivates you to do this? You just the keeping kids safe. I mean, just the absolute cringe factor, the disgust of people who are aroused by this gross stuff.
Yeah, I mean, knowing how big the issue is. I mean, just that day in Ohio alone, we caught 2 people who were into as young as toddlers, Benjamin, of course, being number one. And then later in Defiance, Ohio, the guy I was talking about getting charged with criminal attempt at importuning, Tony Madden, he was worse than Naylor. I mean, we caught him, and he admitted to molesting 3 of his children, 1 stepkid and 2 of his actual kids. And one of them is 2 years old now. He's actively doing it. And to be able to be a part of a team that puts a stop to that, I mean, there's no more fulfilling feeling. I mean, you can go to sleep at night knowing that you made a difference, and that is the number one motivation of why we do what we do.
Wow. I was shocked at seeing a little bit of what Naylor said to you, the fact that he did admit to being turned on by infants.
Yeah.
And I'm, the fact that he's just standing there and he's kind of saying all of this to you on camera. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of shocked. I'm shocked that he didn't just walk away and say, "Hey, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm at work." But the way he stood there and just kept talking to you was a little bit stunning to me.
Well, it's all about leverage. Obviously you can't blackmail people, but you can apply pressure where it's right, and you basically got to be a salesman to the fact that telling me your dark secrets is your best option forward right now, because he's thinking in his mind, well, if I go in, then maybe he's going to cause a stink. And of course, I'm not telling him that or telling him anything, but you just got to sell it in a non-judgmental way that like you talking to me is the best option. Like a line I like to drop on them is that everybody that has your back doesn't understand the internet, and everybody that understands the internet is going to try to get after you. I'm the only person who understands the internet and that's going to have your back in your whole life. So I'm here for you, man. And they fall for that one a lot. And yeah, I say that line has put a lot of pedophiles away.
Wow. Well, I will be interested to see if they add more charges at the grand jury. I mean, right now he's being held on, the charges that they took him in on, and that's it.
Right.
So they can always add additional charges at grand jury depending on what they could find, maybe on other electronic devices. I don't know if that's what they're looking into, but we'll wait and see. Any final thoughts?
Well, I appreciate you having me on, and I'm glad Ben Naylor is getting exposed far and wide. I don't think he's a good person, and I think this should be one of the many consequences for pedophiles getting blasted on the internet. So I'm glad you're taking part in that. Thanks for making it a reality.
Well, thank you, Alex Rosen, for talking with me. Alex, you can find him online. He is the head of Predator Poachers. They are on YouTube and Kick. They're all over the place. Thanks again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now, I want to let you know that I reached out to Reddit, and at the time of this recording, I have not heard back from the company about what they do, if anything, to look out for predators trolling for people on their site. Benjamin Naylor had worked at the Christ Hospital, but he was fired after his arrest. He is being held without bond at the jail. And that's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.